Well, salutations, Stan the Fan Charles.
And right back at you, Glenn Clark.
Good to see you, sir. Doing a little evening version of picks this week. And Stan, maybe what I've been waiting for all year, maybe it's just time for us to add the parlay twist every week
Hey,
to our pick slate.
I'm good with that, but I think it's a nice wrinkle, and I think we'll continue to do it periodically through the year.
And I've cashed now twice on the parlay, 2 for 2 on
Yeah,
parlay twist
while
this
you
season.
explain who's bringing us this episode of picks, I will get ready to recap
You
things.
got it. This week's picks are, as always, brought to you by 1-800-GAMBLER and helpmygamblingproblem.org. For if you or a loved one is struggling with a gambling problem, or if you're not sure, like even if you just think that maybe you want to talk about it, 1-800-GAMBLER, you can call or text, or you can go to helpmygamblingproblem.org for free confidential services. And the confidential part of that is important.
Yep.
If you choose to share, you might choose, if you really have a problem, to say, I don't want to be allowed in casinos anymore. And that will be your choice. But it is all up to you. It is confidential unless you don't want it to be. 1-800-GAMBLER, helpmygamblingproblem.org. And of course, also brought to you, Stan, by the Costas Inn and the all-new Costas Inn.
Two great locations. The old location at 4100 North Point Boulevard, Glen. You can still get steamed crabs at
I think we
that
call it the
location.
classic. We don't call it the old location. We call it the Costas
The
Inn
classic.
Classic.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
You can still get steamed crabs there, and the phone number to make reservations, because you may need them, 410-477-1975. And you can check out what sizes are available, the price, and the size of the crabs, and also what kind of size party you're going to have. Make sure they have enough crabs for you. That's at the classic Costas Inn, 4100 North Point Boulevard. The new location, the brand new spanking new location, is in the Timonium Race Course. It's up above the grandstand, right next to the OTB, and they are doing gangbusters there. And I'm sure they will be busy for the holidays.
Yeah, and a reminder, you might want to start thinking about that now. Maybe holiday parties, holiday gatherings. You got your folks in town. They want a crab cake while they're home, stuff like that. Start thinking about that now, because
And
there's
And Glenn, I'd like to stress that it's a great place to try for the first time for lunch, the new Costas in Timonium, because it's so centrally located.
yep.
If you're meeting somebody, that's the one slight drawback of the Costas Inn. It is a ride for a lot of people, but this location is so centrally located for
Spectacular.
everybody. Both locations, so great food, great service, and that family atmosphere.
All right, Stan, let's look over last week.
All righty. Glenn went 3-0. Plus, he had, excuse me,
Yeah,
Glenn went 2-1 and had the parlay twist win. Glenn had the Ravens, was a loser. He had the Miami as his lock winner, won that game. Didn't he win it
eked it
by
out. Yeah,
a half a point?
The line was 2.5, and it went to overtime, and I eked it out by a half a point.
But a great pick with the Arizona Cardinals as your lock loser. They got slammered when they were getting just 3 points. I think they lost that game by 2 touchdowns, maybe
at
even
least,
more,
yeah.
a little bit more. The parlay twist, Glenn took Buffalo and the over, and I think they were over by halftime, Glenn, in that game. So good
really
job
did
there.
Feel that way.
And Buffalo broke that game
to be for what it's worth, it could have been a pick as well, because they did cover, but ultimately
you got it. I had the Ravens like Glenn, so it was a loss. I had the Green Bay Packers -7, and that ended up being a push.
Yep.
And then Carolina. Well, I have not picked the game right with Carolina, and I think Atlanta all year long. I knew when I turned it on, I went to the red zone, and Michael Penix was out. I knew that I had no shot to win the game.
Not a great sign.
Carolina was +3.5. They ended up beating Atlanta outright. And then I kind of bet the house on Detroit both winning as an underdog in Philadelphia and that game going under 46.5.
You got half of that right.
Yeah, I got half of it right. But Philly was just too tough for the Detroit Lions offense on that given night. So after 10 weeks or 11 weeks, Glenn is 17-16, peaking above 500, and he's got those 2 points in his back pocket
abeyance,
for the
right.
parlay, right, for the parlay twist. I am 16-16 and one tie, and I've got 2 losses in abeyance, so to speak. So we go on to week 12, and the Raven game is at M&T Bank Stadium. Their first game there in what, like 3
months?
Weeks, Clint?
A month. Yeah.
A month. Ravens are a big-time favorite on a 4-game winning streak. They're playing the sort of hapless New York Jets, who are, I think, 2-8. Ravens back to 500 at 5-5. Ravens are favored by 13.5 points. Glenn, let's do it.
Yeah, so I didn't bring the pad. For those scoring at home, I've had an adventurous day as I'm a man of a certain age now, and so they put a camera in a place that is uncomfortable to put a camera. So I've been out all day, so I don't have the paddles, but I've got my son's little football here, so that's what I'll use.
And what are you going to do if you don't like the Ravens?
I'm going to
throw it away.
I'm going to chuck the football. He's actually standing in the other room. I'm going to throw it right at him. That's what I'm going to do.
And I am going to keep my thumbs up for the Ravens and thumbs down if I don't like the Ravens. All right,
you got it. Here
Ravens
we go.
minus 13.5 in 3, 2, 1.
Ball fake.
You
ball fake.
You
ball
fooled me. A total ball fake. Glenn and I both like the Ravens. My week to go first. Glenn, I kind of, that number is high. There's no question about it. And the Ravens offense, while it showed a little signs of life against a tough Cleveland defense, my one fear here was that the Ravens, with Lamar missing practice on Wednesday, I know he practiced Thursday today, but I thought maybe they would sort of say, you know what, with all these injuries, Hamilton and what's his name, the linebacker,
Roquan Smith.
Yeah, just so many injuries. I thought maybe they'd say we're gonna be very careful because we play Thursday night with Lamar, and that he wouldn't play. But he's back at practice. They're talking as if he's going to play.
And he met with the media today.
I think. Look at that.
There's my it's
your
my
wife
older.
is,
it's my older son.
Oh, it's your older son.
Yeah,
hey, Graham. How you doing, buddy? I don't have anybody hugging me.
That's all right. That's all right. Grandma offer you a hug through the air.
Will you give me a hug tomorrow, Glenn, to make
up? Absolutely, Stan. Although I just had a colonoscopy today, so you don't know what might come out. That is
How was the prep? More importantly than the colonoscopy.
Just awful. Just about as much fun as watching the New York Jets this season.
Did you do the show today?
From this chair right here at my house.
Wow.
This seat right here.
Did you have to ever break away from the action?
There was a moment where I was very concerned. There was a moment where I timed a commercial break quite purposefully.
Okay. Anyway, I think the Ravens just have an old-fashioned good time playing Sunday, and I think the offense is really going to flourish this Sunday. They're going to score a lot of points.
Yeah, Stan, what you're saying is relevant, which is this. You don't look at the Ravens right now as a team that really deserves to be favored by 13.5 points, given how they've played. But I do, what is really coming back to me, it's not even, somebody would say, yeah, but it's the Jets. I actually don't think the Jets are quite as hapless. I think Tyrod Taylor is less prone to make the big mistakes. I don't think he's going to be explosive. I don't think that suddenly their offense is going to come to life. But I think some of the dumb mistakes will be eliminated with Tyrod Taylor, a quarterback. To me, it's just about being back at home. This is, as we alluded to, the Bears game. Lamar Jackson hasn't played in Baltimore in multiple months. The Bears game was the last home game, of course, and Tyler Huntley started that game.
Great point.
You have to go back to the Lions game on Monday night for the last time Lamar Jackson played at home. And I just have this feeling that playing at home and those vibes are going to get a little bit more of that Ravens offense that we've come to know and love. They've got to solve their red zone problems. That is legitimate. That is real. We can't be dismissive of it. They're 3 for 9 in their last 2 games. Apparently they're going to keep sticking it out with Daniel Faalele at right guard. I've got concerns, but I do think that coming home changes things for the Baltimore Ravens. And for the
All right. We both like the Ravens minus 13.5 points, game time, 1 o'clock on Sunday at M&T Bank Stadium. My lock winner this week, Glenn, is the Detroit Lions, licking their wounds from that utter thrashing by the Philadelphia Eagles the other night, at least defensively. Vic Fangio really did a fantastic job with his defense, because I haven't seen Jared Goff stymied like that in a long, long time. Couldn't really accomplish anything, but I think they're going to take it out on the New York Giants this week. Giants will come back with Jameis Winston. I just like them. They're favored by 10.5. It's a big number.
It is a big number.
I think it's, their home, and I think they get the job done and then some against New York
it
Giants.
does look like a bounce back spot. I do agree with that. To your point, it is a large number, and goofy things happen with large numbers, but I do think it looks like a bounce back spot.
Who's your lock winner, Glenn?
I'm basically risking it all at this point. And this, I don't think people are thinking quite as much about how much the Kansas City Chiefs have their backs against the wall.
They really do this week. Yep.
They lost
last week. The Indianapolis Colts.
Who are coming off a bye, and yet the Chiefs are 3.5 point favorites at home. My friend Griffin Bass, producer at Glenn Clark Radio, found out that this deep in the season,
he's still working for you.
Today we'll talk about
all
that.
Right.
Tomorrow.
Okay.
Don't read ahead, Stan. We gotta, I need him to show up. Teams that are 500 that are favored over teams that have a record of 800 or better this deep in the season. It doesn't happen a lot. It's happened 14 times to his math. And 12 of those times, the team that was favored won and covered. 12-2 against the spread. So, Stan, there's something about Vegas still liking the Chiefs in this spot, despite everything saying this should be a Colts spot, that makes me say I'm riding with the Chiefs for this one. I don't think the wheels totally fall off here. I think they bounce back. I'm going with the Chiefs minus 3.5, despite everything, as my lock winner this week.
This will be an interesting game. I think the number's a little high, but I do think the Chiefs probably need, there's no question, they need the game much more than Indianapolis does. So I think they win the game, and therefore I think it's a solid pick. It'll be interesting. If Indianapolis beats them, it may say a little something about how good the Colts are.
Oh, 1,000%. At that point, there's no more questions about are the Colts legit or not, or that. That would be massive if that were to occur.
All right. My lock loser, Glenn, is, and this is another spot, when teams go to the desert, some of them, and the Arizona is not a very good franchise, but sometimes teams go there and they really sink into the desert. The Jacksonville Jaguars utterly destroyed the LA Chargers at home last week in Jacksonville. I think they go to, I think they handle business. It's a business trip for them. I like this new coach. What's his name? Liam Cohen?
Yes, Liam Cohen.
Yeah. I think they handle their business. Trevor Lawrence is playing at a high level, and Arizona doesn't have a lot to me. And I was surprised it's only two. Is it 2.5 or 2?
It's 2.5.
2.5. I'm going to take Arizona plus 2.5 as my lock loser, thinking Jacksonville will have their way with the Cardinals.
Yeah, this definitely feels like a number that should be more like 4.5 to me. And so, like, the
I
fact
probably
that
wouldn't have touched the game at that level.
Yeah, well, it's almost a weird one where, like, at 2.5, I almost have to say they know something. It almost makes me say I have to bet Arizona in that spot because the line's wrong. But I'm with you, and obviously the last 2 weeks, I have gotten points in Arizona situations, so I don't blame you at all for going down that road.
Who's your lock loser?
Again, I think this one's going to surprise people. My lock loser this week is the mighty Los Angeles Rams, the number one team in my power rankings this week at PressBoxOnline.com. The Rams are 6.5-point favorites at home against the Buccaneers. And it just feels like a spot for a Buccaneers team that's still plenty capable of scoring points. They are still scoring lots of points. It seems like they figured something out with Sean Tucker being helpful. I am in this weird place where, because the score is going to be high, I could see another couple of points being scored. Maybe Bucky Irving is back this week as well. We will find out. But I'm just going to say for right now, I think 6.5 is too much. Give me the Rams as my lock loser against a capable team.
Didn't was it the Bills that beat Tampa last week?
It was, yes, correct.
Yeah. After that game, the coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, what's his, I'm drawing a blank.
Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles.
Yeah. He and Sean McDermott was very friendly, but McDermott held him for a while and they were talking. And I think he was telling him how good a team he has, and there was something going on there. It was friendly, it was respectful, but I thought he was kind of congratulating him on how hard Todd Bowles' team plays, or something to that effect.
Look, if they had their full complement of receivers, and I mean, I think the Bucs would be in a different spot. I really like the Bucs in general, and I don't know that I think they can win in LA. I just don't like a touchdown.
It's a big number for them
here for a team. And I get it. They lost by more than a touchdown in Buffalo. Like, I understand. Yeah. But I just think they're too capable of scoring points. And I don't know. I for some reason, I really like the Buccaneers here.
Feels like a field goal game to me. Yep. Hey, Glenn, before we go, we're 2 weeks after, or a week and a half after Justin Tucker was eligible. Are you hearing anything?
Nope.
Any teams talking to him? Or
nothing at all? And there have been teams that have made kicker moves. So
yeah.
I don't know if this is the NFL discouraging teams, or if teams just said, "Hey, look, considering the way he looked last season, maybe this isn't the juice isn't worth the squeeze at this point." I
just want to remind everybody out there that he looked much better in the last 5 or 6 weeks of the season last year.
Better, yes.
Yeah,
better.
I mean, made all of his extra points and hit about 5 or 6 field goals.
But but Justin Tucker, that was the weapon, like the guy that you could count on from 60.
For 55.
I don't know that guy exists anymore. And so if he's just basically like any other kicker, it just might be the teams are saying we can get any other kicker that doesn't have the same baggage as Justin Tucker does. But we'll see. There's still a lot of time. Yep.
All right.
All right, Stan.
Look forward to doing the show with you tomorrow. No scheduled Zooms for this coming week, but we're working on a couple things. Okay?
Excellent. Of course.
I want to remind you again, let's recap. Glenn and I both like the Baltimore Ravens minus 13.5 against the Jets, although it wouldn't shock us if there's a backdoor cover, but we think the Ravens playing at home will have a little extra secret sauce. I like Detroit minus 10.5 at home versus the New York Giants as a lock winner. Kansas City is a 3.5-point favorite over Indianapolis at Arrowhead Stadium, or whatever it's called now. Glenn likes Kansas City to cover in that one. My lock loser is the Arizona Cardinals plus 2.5 over the Jacksonville Jaguars, who come to the desert. And Glenn is picking a 6.5-point favorite as his lock loser, as he thinks Tampa Bay will make it a real game in Los Angeles.
There you go.
That's going to do it for this week. Brought to you by
the Costa Sin, the all-new Costa Sin and Timonium. 1-800-GAMBLER. HelpMyGamblingProblem.org. Stan, we will see you next week.